This problem was a reminder to me that you have to remember to read the problem thoroughly. I read through it quickly and I see paraglider and I'm thinking, what is a paraglider? Because my mind goes immediately to paratransit, because I had a partner whose wife had to rely on that. And I had to read it again to realize that we're talking about para as in parachute. So this company makes paragliders, once you read it carefully, for sale through specialty sporting goods stores. So that's what we're talking about. You can almost see that yellow. I make pretend you can. Okay, the company has a standard model. But they make custom designs as well. So you can get either a standard parachute glider, or you can, I guess, kind of design your own. Frankly, I can't imagine my fat old butt hanging from a parachute glider, but whatever. Okay. They've already gone through and they've done their first level allocations. They've done their first stage allocations. They've told us that these are their activity cost pools and they're their costs per unit in that pool, and they tell us what the unit is. For direct labor, supporting labor, now remember, this is not direct as in making it, because that's traceable, that's variable cost. This is overhead. All of these costs are overhead. That's why we're allocating them. So the supporting direct labor cost us $26 per direct hour. Our order processing cost us $284 per order. Our custom design service is $186 per custom design. And our customer service cost us $379 per customer. They've given us that. And because this is not information for the entire company, they're telling us that we want to look at one client. So they tell us they would like us, and this does happen. I have seen this happen fairly, I can't say commonly, but it does happen, where management would like an analysis for a particular customer. And this would come about here's the name of the customer, and the scenario here, the backstory here would be this customer has perhaps lots of customer orders, or this customer is only a small customer, he only orders from us once in a while. We want to know some information about this customer. Do we want to treat him really good? Do we want to ask him to go away? We want some more information about the customer. This is where we're taking our accounting data and we're going to use that to make some management decisions. This is the essence of management accounting. So this is what the customer wants to order. Okay, he wants 20 standard models and 3 custom models. The 20 standard models we sell for $18.50 each, and the custom gliders we sell for $2,400 each. So I've already filled that piece in on the worksheet, so we know what the sales are. We have that piece there. Now let's go through and do the rest of it and see if it's worth our effort. They tell us that the direct materials per glider are $564 for the standard and $634 for the custom. So our variable cost for direct material is going to be 20 times 564 and 3 times 634. That's our direct material cost per glider. So our direct material cost per glider, we have 20 at $564, plus we have 3 at $634. When you do that, those costs come to $13,182. So that's our direct material cost. Now, our direct labor and our direct, for each, we have to figure that out. Let's see, they tell us that each glider, and this is the piece that you can miss, so you have to be careful here. The standard model takes 26 hours at $19.50, and the custom model takes 28 hours at $19.50. So you have to remember to do 2 multiplications, not just 1. Okay? So what we need to do, we'll do this, will be 20 times 26.35 times 19.50 for the standard model, and 3 times 28. Yeah, I went to the wrong spot. These arrows should be up to here. Sorry. 3 times 28 times 19.50 for the custom model. So let's do that. So I have $19.50 per direct hour for direct labor, $19.50 per hour. And I need $26.35 for my standard model, and we're going to make 20 of those, and I still need $19.50 per hour, and I need 28 hours per 28 hours per custom, and again that's times, this time we're making 3, and when we add that together we come up with $11,915. They're direct costs. That just flat out what we did, and I think that was chapter 2. I mean, so nothing special there. Now we get to the meat of this chapter, which is allocating the indirect costs. And they give us those costs. Okay, so that's all the direct stuff. We took care of all of that. So now we need to go to the indirect costs. And they tell us that, where did I have that written down? I know I got it somewhere. There we go. The supporting direct labor is $26 per labor hour. The order processing is $284 per order. Now we're going to add that. So we have, remember, we have 3 and 20. So for order processing, we're going to have 3 and 20. For custom design, we're going to have 3. Customer service, we have 1 because it's just one customer. And the direct labor, we have 26 per labor hour per unit. So that's the one that's going to have the most computations, that's going to look a lot like this one, okay? Only here, instead of $19.50 what we're paying, we're using our supporting direct labor, which is kind of weird. It means the people who supervise the laborers make more and spend more time on the product than the people who make the product, which is kind of a weird operation. That's trying to inspect in quality. It just doesn't work. But we'll make pretend it does because that's what they told us they do. We're good. That's what they do. That's what they do. Okay, so supporting direct labor, we have $26 per hour times the $26.35, the hours spent, times the 20 units, plus we have on the supporting direct models, we still have our $26 per hour, our overhead application rate, but now we're multiplying that, and this part of the function stays the same. 28 times 3, and that comes to 15,886, which means we spend almost $16,000 to supervise the people who do $12,000 worth of labor. That's just weird. Okay, so order processing, they tell us that's $284 per order, and we're looking at a total of 4 orders here, 1 for 20 and 3 for 1 each. So that's a total of 4. So we have 4 orders. That's at $11.36. Remember, 4 orders. We had 1 order for 20, and we had 3 orders for custom. So that's a total of 4. Our custom design, we had 3 custom designs. That's $186 per design times 3. And that comes to $558, excuse me. Geez, I have my numbers written down in front of me and I still can't read. But all of this is for 1 person, so the customer service is just 1, $379. So if you add that all up, after you allocate the overhead to this customer, the total cost, direct material, direct labor, and then all the overhead is $43.56. Do the subtraction and we find out that we do all this work for $1,144. And that would be something you might want to talk to your salespeople about. You might want to increase your minimum order size. That seems to me to be a low margin for a lot of work. And that is the quintessence of management accounting. Finding those numbers so we can ask those questions. Is this job worth it? Yes, no. Maybe yes, maybe no. And again, I can't tell you what the correct decision would be. As the managers, you have to make that decision. I can only tell you how to come to the information for which you will use to base your decision on. And that was probably the ugliest sentence since Ulysses.